That's why I'm gonna make it lower.
When I think about my money and how much I've spent, how quickly I spent it, and where it all went, sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't care. If my life knew the value of my collection, I'd need to be in your prayers. Some men like to gamble, some men like to race, some men like to party, to drink and fall on their face. But I've been collecting knives since the time before MySpace. Some are fixed blades and I have many that fold. Some go down in value, but some appreciate like gold. There's a feeling inside, a hole in my soul. If there isn't a new knife on its way to my home, order a full custom, get on a wait list. Could be a year or 3, but it's worth buying to me because of the skill of the artist. And some factory knives that you didn't know existed are rare and special, being made so limited. You think that I'm nuts and call me a hoarder or whatever, man. At least I've got something special on pre-order. Spend all your money, keep buying more. Don't think about other things.
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, today we're going to take a little dive into Kansept EDC. Now, we've come out here many times and talked about Kansept knives. Well, now they have an offshoot brand, which is going to be non-knife EDC essentials like pry bars and things like that. So today we're going to take a look at the Stiletto in 2 different flavors and the Prymate right here. I'm going to move that off to the side. And we're going to take one of the stilettos out here. This is the blue. And I also have one in purple. Now, what's the idea behind this? Well, it's very strange because what this is a modern reimagining of a weapon, but turned into a tool. And there's a little story that's going to go into that, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But what you essentially have here is a titanium-handled ice pick. Man, this is not what I thought it was. When I was ordering this up, I thought this was something that would very quickly convert from a hidden little deal that this is here into the ice pick that was pictured. Nope, that's not at all what this is. And beyond that, don't let the name stiletto fool you, because this is obviously not a stiletto in the common terminology that we're accustomed to. So it's a little more complicated, and it's a little bit slower than you think it is. So let's get a nice close-up look, and we're gonna put our face right down by the hole and take a look inside. Now, typically you don't want to see anything inside of the holes. And if there's a surprise in there, it's usually not a good one. But today, we're going to be greeted by a good surprise hidden inside of the hole. Back this up a little bit. We'll take the titanium tube in one hand and the titanium end cap in the other. And you'll notice on the frag end, that's where you've got 3 holes. 3 holes are always better than 2. Now this spanner wrench is going to match up, drop into the holes, and we simply spin. Everything is done finger tight, by the way. You're not using any wrenches or any kind of crazy strength on this. Pop the end cap off of there. You're going to utilize the same end. You don't want to take the spike out and put the spike on the other end because it's not threaded in the same manner. It's going to fit very weirdly and it's just not going to work right. So the best way to think about it is this. Your tool end is by the tooled end of the tube. So where you have the frag milling, that's where your spike is going to be. And the end cap is going to be down by the holes. Now you have in your hand your fully assembled tool. Get a close look here. We have the model name, the model number. Then we have the Kansept logo along with the Marco Knives logo. Marco Knives is Marco Pennella out of Italy, and this is his design that Kansept has made into a production tool. I'm going to give you the specs very quickly, then we're going to get into story time and learn what this is really based on and why you might think it's pretty darn cool. You're looking at 7¼ inches in overall length. Your materials are titanium 6Al4V for the body and the end cap. You have steel for your attachment here, which you can use for your steel necklace. This is kind of a flexible steel necklace that you can put on there if you want to wear this around your neck to conceal it that way. Or you could put it on a keychain because when it's closed up, it's pretty compact. It's not very large at all. But most people are just going to carry it around like this in their pocket, or if they have like a pen sleeve in their pocket, or you have an EDC pack or a backpack or something that you keep pens in, this will fit in there very, very easily. And then you can take it out. It's obviously not a quick draw weapon of any sort. Again, you're assembling a tool here, not a weapon. So here's the idea. This is Marco's modern and minimalistic reimagining of a misericord. Now, a misericord is a type of medieval dagger that was used to end someone's life if they were mortally wounded and suffering. So misericordia is Latin, which is two words combined. The Latin word miserere, which of course you understand to mean misery, and Latin cor or cordis, meaning heart. When you put all that together, it gives you the idea of what this was used for in its original form as a dagger weapon. The idea was to serve the death stroke to your opponent if the battle rendered them wounded and awaiting death, but you wanted to show them mercy and prevent their suffering. You would basically take that misericord dagger and pierce their heart with it and kill them instantly so that they weren't lying there suffering. Now, you're not obviously going to use this for that. This is, again, it's been transformed into a tool. So what are you going to use it for? Well, you're going to use it as an ice pick. That's going to be its primary purpose for most people. So you can use it as an ice pick. You can use it as an awl. You can use it as a scribe if you want to carve your initials into something, or you want to mark aluminum, you want to mark wood, you want to mark plastics. You can do that with this insanely sharp tip. And the steel that's being used here is 5CR13. Wouldn't be great for a knife steel because a blade edge really wouldn't hold its edge very long. But it's very, very good at being tough. And that's what it needs to be repeatedly piercing something. And believe me, this will pierce. It is stupidly sharp. Let me give you another close-up look here because I really enjoy looking at the satin finishes they have here on the flats. Then in the bevels, the micro milling just adds a little bit of pop. And I think it looks pretty darn cool. They also did a nice job on the anodizing on the handle as well. Overall, it's a darn cool tool with an interesting historic story to it that I had to research. I had certainly never heard of before. But when I saw that word misericordia on Kansept's website, I'm like, okay, that's Latin, I can tell, but I don't know what the words mean. And I'm assuming since this knife maker, this designer that worked with him is Italian, there's probably going to be some cool story that goes along with that. So I should probably do some research. And that, my friends, is what I do for you because I love you. So now you know the whole story and everything behind it. Let's get these bad boys out of the way and focus here for a moment on the Prymate. So yes, it's a play on words, primate like monkey, but it's just spelled a little bit differently. Prymate, pry bar, and your buddy that you have with you all the time. This is your favorite drinking buddy. For 40 bucks, you have a solid titanium. By the way, I didn't mention the prices on these. On the stilettos, you're looking 60 to 80 bucks. 60 bucks in standard titanium. 80 bucks is for the entropic finish, which is like their lightning flash finish going through anodized titanium. All right, so again, back to the Prymate. With the Prymate, you've got a flat bar of titanium that's going to be your pry bar. It's also going to be a bottle opener. It's going to be a nail puller, a flathead screwdriver, and a scraper. And then you've got hex wrenches, M4, M8, and M10 wrenches built in. Your pocket clip is back here. And then you have your glass breaker right there on the end. I don't think I really need to describe how a glass breaker is used because we've all had Microtech knives at some point in our lives, right? Right, absolutely. You could also tie on a lanyard on there as well if you wanted to. I don't see why you would. This really is something that you're going to drop down into your pocket. Another way that I would consider carrying it, maybe take one of your Chris Reeve Sebenza or Incosi pocket slips, since you're never going to use it for those knives because they have pocket clips on them. What kind of idiot carries them down in their pocket? You could take one of those slips that you've never used before, pop this in there and drop it down in your pocket to keep it protected. Or if you're a Jack Wolf Knives owner and collector, you've got a bunch of slips laying around. You could drop this in one of those slips and drop that into your pocket and not scratch up or damage something else in your pocket that may cost a lot more than this $40 pry bar. One of the things I particularly enjoy about this is they did a nice job chamfering all the way around the ring. So there are no sharp edges to be encountered by your fingers. So very nicely done there. And I think it's a really useful tool. Now you're going out for the night, you're going out drinking, or you're going to a party where you're all going to be drinking. You've got your ice pick to chop up your ice. You've got your bottle opener. You've got your scraper, scrape your buddy off the floor. You got all the things that you need for a party in your pocket. I guess, I don't know, but that's a way to carry them all together. So some useful tools from Kansept. I like this idea, and I hope to see more from them in the near future. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and click like on the video because that tells YouTube to show it to more people. And we want more people to see this, don't we? Yes, yes, of course we do. And other than that, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video.